Hi, Cristin.
Hi.
Thank you so much for volunteering to be a part of a recorded coaching session. As per usual, coaching would be confidential between you and I. My coaching sessions are typically via phone, but I wanted today to show the audience what a true coaching session is like with you and I. So
Okay.
take a deep breath. Anything you need to let go of while we're here in this moment?
No, I think I'm good. I'm in a private space. I've got the door locked. Got sunshine on my face. So I think I'm in a good place.
Wonderful. Being in a good space and being grounded and feeling comfortable and safe is where we'll find the power in coaching. So I will be taking a few notes today.
Perfect.
But what is feeling important today to get coaching around?
So I know when you invited me to do this, you asked me for one word that would be meaningful today. Sorry, I didn't turn off my notifications. Let's do that. And I toyed between permission and direction, and they go hand in hand. Lately, I've been struggling with some business decisions and what to do next in my career, and feeling a block in taking action with what I don't know how to word it, but I feel a block in knowing what I want to do, but feeling a block in that I need permission from my spouse in particular to go forward, to go for it and move ahead. And since I'm waiting for that, I'm not taking any action. I'm feeling stuck. I'm feeling, I don't know, I just feel like I'm not doing anything. And it's frustrating because my line of work is around helping people overcome these same feelings. And so I feel that I'm struggling with stuff that I probably should know how to handle. And
so feeling stuck, you have a block, it's frustrating, you're seeking permission.
Yeah.
So what would be a question that we can explore in regards to this seeking permission and a block?
Well, questions that I've thought of myself are, why? Why do I need his permission? What am I hoping he'll say or do? Where's this coming from? Which I know the answer to that. Why can't I get past? So in short, we have, if I can share, he's an alcoholic. And so he's 5 years sober this year, but 6 or 7 years ago, we had a very traumatic conversation where he told me that I wouldn't be able to make it. I don't remember the exact words, but what I heard was that I would never be able to be successful in having my own business. I had to be an employee. I had to work for somebody. I had to, that's where it was safe. And he didn't believe in, doing my own thing. And so over the years, fortunately, and with so much gratitude, things have changed. And he's even told me recently he supports me in what I do, but the block is still in the conversation we had 6 or 7 years ago. And I'm trying to figure out how to move past that to be in the present and to be able to move forward with where we are today.
All right. So what I'm hearing is he has actually given you permission.
Yes, but for some reason, and I realize that, but for some reason, my mind is telling me that's not enough, and I don't know why.
Not enough. Okay.
Which leads me to believe that I'm blaming him for my own doubts of me being able to succeed. And that's not fair.
Right. It's not fair to
him or to me, because it's holding me back and it's putting blame on him for doubts I have about myself.
So what I'm hearing is a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
A lot of thinking about a conversation that happened 6 or 7 years ago, kind of a memory.
Mm-hmm.
So here are the feeling words that I've jotted down: struggle, block, stuck, frustrating, not enough, doubts. What other feeling words come up for you when you're in this place or this belief that you have this block, you need this permission, this direction to move forward? What other feeling words surface for you?
Well, hypocrite comes to mind. And victim, sabotage, self-sabotage. Mostly, I don't know. There's just, I feel like I'm on this like edge of tipping into really excelling and doing what I want to do and going all in, but there's something pulling, still just holding on, that's not letting me go, and I don't know what it is, and I'm putting that to give me something tangible. I'm putting that blame on that conversation.
Mm-hmm. So if we could summarize that feeling of something pulling, something not letting go, what feeling words, what emotional words come up for you?
Of that, what's holding me, like holding that one leg out and not letting it go all the way in. I want to say safety, but it's not safe. It doesn't feel safe to stay there. I can't describe it other than like my stomach literally just like sunk and just felt like there was a rock in it, like I was being pulled down. But I don't know what the value is in staying there, because everything else in our life has moved forward in such a positive way, in a positive direction, that I don't know what the purpose is to stay back there. I never thought of it that way, but I don't know how to describe it, Catherine. I'm sorry.
Okay. So what I hear is you're searching for the reason, the purpose, and what I'm looking for is the feeling that you have now, in this belief that that story is what's keeping you here, that conversation. So we did get some. We got struggle, block, stuck, frustrating, not enough, doubts, hypocrite, victim, self-sabotage.
I think scary comes to mind. Scary to let go of because I used to be so driven to protect myself and to survive. And now I don't feel that threat anymore. And so scary comes to mind. Maybe scared to be safe, maybe scared to be going all in and being in such a healthier place, letting go of that shield to be on guard all the time, from hurtful conversations like that. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
Yeah.
But I feel like I would be letting go of that part of me that is always on guard to protect myself.
Yeah. So what's important about this right now, resolving this?
Because I can't sleep because of it. I'm losing sleep. I'm constantly doubting how my spouse feels about my choices with my career, regardless of his actions of being so supportive now. I'm tired of staying in this back and forth space of giving up and just being an employee versus moving forward and really seeing what would happen if I go for it. And it's I feel like it's wishy-washy in the eyes of my children. It's hard to, I don't know, they're young. So they are, they don't, it's hard to tell them what I'm doing, but they see what I'm doing. And I just want to be able to, like, with my whole heart, be fully believe that I'm telling them what I'm doing is true, and that I'm not going to like be amazing, successful, a millionaire or anything, but that I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. I'm starting to question my integrity, and my own, whatever the word is, like, I just feel like I'm going back and forth too much. I want to be more consistent and be true to my word of what I'm going to do.
I sense some emotion behind when you mention your children. What do you think that's about?
Well, everybody says they do everything they do for their children, right? Like, that's pretty common thing, which is true. But I feel like, so they were very young, very, very young prior to my husband's rehab. So a lot of my shield and my protectiveness was towards them. And so they don't remember. It was nothing physical. It was mostly verbal protection that I felt like I needed. And just wanting to be an example and also teach them where their worth is and their values and their goals and dreams can go. And I guess I'm in that struggle of I'm not doing what I'm telling them they can do. And so I want to be more in alignment with that, and just have them see that it's possible.
Yeah. These little people, they do watch everything we do, they mimic it, we model it for them, and it's really important to you, and the value of yours is to show them that you can do what your heart sets out to achieve.
Yeah.
So that's really important to you to model that.
It is important to me, but there's something, this might be a whole nother thing, but like there's also a feeling of that's still not enough in me to drive me, to fuel me. Like I haven't been able to find, like I said earlier, that direction of what's what to anchor into to keep me going, to keep me focused, to keep me working through the hard, right? And so I feel a little lost in that as well, which I believe is what's allowing me to spiral back into the past and link on to those words, because I don't have something anchoring me forward to pull me forward like I used to.
Yeah. So would it be helpful today to find an anchor and a way to pull you forward?
I think so, yes. Because my anchor prior to this last year was to move back to my hometown, which I'm in now. And that was a goal I had that was rooted so deep for so long that now that I've achieved it, I feel lost as to what to strive towards next. And I've just noticed in the last month or two that that's really important to me, to have something to look forward to that is that rooted and that tangible, like to visually be able to see it, to keep me going and to keep me pushing through whatever comes my way.
So I want to reflect on the feeling words that I've pulled from the conversation so far.
Okay.
So in the state that you are now, in what topic is important for you is the permission and the direction to move forward. You're looking for an anchor, a way to move forward. The words that it came up are struggle, block, stuck, frustrating, protection, not enough, lost, doubts, hypocrite, victim, sabotage, scary, protect, on guard, doubting, wishy-washy, it's hard, and questioning identity. So my question would be is, where do these feelings come from?
A lot of feelings. My first thought is I don't know, because I'm usually very focused, very driven, very organized, very meticulous, very structured, so that I don't feel that way. And I have lost many of those. I haven't lost them, but I've slacked on many of those attributes over the last year. And I haven't really reflected on why that is. And so I think by not having that structure and organization and focus, it allows those other not so pleasant feelings to creep in, which isn't a bad thing. It's probably good to accept them and feel them and go through them. But to pinpoint where they come from, I don't know. I
have a different question.
Okay. I
So
have an idea, but I don't know. Let's see where this one goes.
Okay. So all of those feeling words that I've repeated, when it basically, these are feeling words that create a mental state, or what I like to call a messy mind, or a low mental state, right? It's a place where we're feeling struggle, block, stuck, frustrating, protection, not enough, lost, doubts, hypocrite, victim, and we're spiraling down the drain.
Mm-hmm.
When we're in this state, what action follows?
Nothing. I'm doing bare minimum, and then that continues the spiral of you're not doing enough. You should be doing more. But I'm finding that just the basic financial, if we talk money, the basic financial needs that I need to be providing to my family aren't even enough to motivate me, right? I'm just feel so, my brain tells me I don't know what to do. And I know that's not true. But when I try and think about what to do, I just freeze.
Yeah. So you freeze, do nothing, or bare minimum.
Or I try and numb it or cover it up and play with my kids all day, or distract myself with chores. And so avoidance and procrastination.
Yeah. So how do you want to feel instead?
I want to feel like a firecracker. I want to feel like I know what I'm fighting for. I want to feel like I know so I want to know what I have to offer people. So in the sense of my business, what am I offering to people? How can I help them? I want to be solid in that message and be clear in what I stand for, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's faded a little bit.
Some other words that I got extracted from the conversation earlier was moving forward, driven, consistent, focused, structured. What other powerful feeling words come up for you when I ask you, how do you want to feel?
Unstoppable, empowered, confident, and I want to say strong, but not physically strong, but like I said, like shield strong, but not immune to compassion and empathy. And, I don't want to be cold, but I want to have a thick skin, right? And I've worked very, very hard over the last couple of years to develop a backbone, as people say. And I just want to continue doing that and have it be stronger. And I feel out of all the progress we've made that I'm losing some of that. And I don't know.
I'm going to pause you.
Yeah, because I'm going back into that again. Yep. But I just want to feel, again, like I said, my dream for so long was to move back to my hometown. And I had this very solid attitude of no matter what gets in my way, it's going to happen. And I don't know when, and I don't know how, but I will be there again someday. And I want that same drive for whatever my next I'll be there someday goal is. So my anchor, whatever my anchor is.
So in the eyes of your kids, how do you want to feel?
Well, right now I need to throw in boundaries there. I want to feel more better boundaries, because right now in the eyes of my kids, I'm with them all the time, short of being in school 24/7. I'm the fun mom. I'm the nurse, I'm the listener, I'm the caretaker, I'm everything. And when I do go to do my work or do, my work, they don't understand. And so I want them to understand the balance of work and family. And that could be pulling on my heartstrings a little bit too, that they don't understand why I have to work. And I want them to see both, see a hardworking mom, but still a mom that can be there for them when they need her, and whatever that looks like.
Yeah. And you talked about being an example, modeling for them.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to read back these words. So the feelings that you want to feel are feeling moving forward, driven, consistent, focused, structured. Firecracker was the most energetic. You want to help. You want to feel solid, clear for what you stand for, unstoppable, empowered, confident, a shield of strength, driven, fun, hardworking, thick-skinned with a backbone. Anything else I missed?
I don't think so.
What happens when you come from this place? Now, this place is a place that I like to call as a clear mind, right? It's powerful, it's strong, it's a high mental state. When you come from this place of driven, being a firecracker, solid, clear for what you stand for, and unstoppable, what action follows?
Whatever I need to do, whatever it takes.
So going back to that same question I asked earlier, where do these feelings come from?
The positive ones or the negative ones?
Both come from the same place.
Oh, okay.
And if you don't know, that's okay. I'll throw you a life preserver.
Well, of course they come from inside me. They come from me. I have this weird, I haven't thought about this in a long time, but this thought of wanting, I don't even know if that's relevant, but the thought that came to mind was old feelings that I had growing up, wanting to be very generically better than, meaning better than my parents, meaning graduate college, have a steady job, things like that. My perception of that has changed since then. But that's the first thought that came to my mind, was to do better than my parents had done or were able to do, which is really weird because that hasn't come up for me in a very long time. That doesn't even matter anymore. But that's what came up when you asked me that. I don't know. Like, I don't know if you're looking, if I'm trying to pinpoint an event or a person, or they just come from inside. I don't know. You stumped me.
You're right. They do come from inside. So we are thinking, feeling beings. You have to have a thought, to have a feeling, and then an action. You just proved it to me by me stating all the feelings that you're having currently When I read those out loud and I asked you what the action is that follows, you said, I freeze. I do nothing, or the bare minimum. I spiral. Not enough. I numb out. I avoid. Right? Think, feel, action. We're thinking, feeling beings. So I'll give you an example if I could share a story.
Of course.
2.5 weeks ago, this random storm came through the area. Lightning, thunder, hail, chaos. Wasn't expected. My dog is terrified of thunder and lightning. So I actually took advantage of the situation, was on the floor, and I'm getting all this lovey-doveyness. I actually gave him something that'll calm him down, but it takes about 15, 20 minutes. I'm petting him, loving on him, and a voice in my head said, you might want to look outside. And I listened, stood up, looked outside of the window, and we live on this giant hill. And because there was so much rain and so much water, it was flooding down the hill, and the storm drain was plugged in front of the house that we're renting. And the water was literally coming down like a river, splashing up against the house. And this is a little old house that could easily wash away.
Oh gosh.
Scared me. Fear took over me. I started calling my husband, calling. And I don't know why I was doing that, because he's an hour away. He never has his phone with him. Would do no good. But that was what I felt, right? I was in a state of fear. It's going to damage the house. It's going to damage our stuff. I don't know what to do. I wouldn't even be able to find car keys, or, I wouldn't even be able to tell you what day or month or year it was at that moment, because there was just so many feelings coming from my thinking. We're thinking, feeling, being. So the action was freak out, panic. And in that moment, I had awareness. And I asked myself, how do I want to feel? So the answer was, I want to feel strong. I want to feel capable. I want to feel like I can handle this. I want to feel empowered. I want to feel strong. I got my damn raincoat on, went outside, water up to my knees with a rake, with a tree above me, lightning, thunder, hail, chaos. I'm raking for a while. And the thought goes in my head, I hope somebody sees me and saves me. But I'm raking. Nothing's happening. And all of a sudden, this big whirlpool creates, right? This water, so I was doing something, even though nothing seemed to be coming out of the drain, something happened. Probably 8-10 minutes went by, but then this big whirlpool, and then all the water receded, went back inside, and I was on fire, like that firecracker feeling.
You did that.
We're thinking, feeling beings. I could have let that thought of fear spiral me down the drain. I could have become a victim. I could have been poor me, woe's me, let the house get destroyed and everything else crumble on the floor. But instead, with that one question, I lived from my own personal values, because my values are being strong, independent, capable. By asking myself that question and offsetting those negative feelings, right? Because the strongest emotion always wins. So these emotional words that you came to me today with are very strong. So in order to overcome them, we need stronger feeling words. And by simply asking that question, how do you want to feel? We kind of hack the mind. We create a new way of thinking, and action must follow immediately. Just like I did with the rainstorm. If I would have waited, damage would have occurred. I would have, again, probably been swept away with my own thinking. But I am in control of my thinking. That storm isn't creating fear in me. It's my thinking that I could get hurt, could die, right?
Right.
A storm can't create feelings. No person, place, thing, circumstance, situation can create your feelings. Because if there were 100 people in this house, all 100 people would have different feelings about that situation, because it's created by our thinking. So all these feelings come from thought. So the key is, when you start, at the very moment you start to feel a feeling that you don't want to be in alignment with, ask yourself, how do I want to feel? Answer it powerfully with powerful feeling words, and then do something right away. Don't, because there was a moment in time where I pulled you because you started to go back to the negative again. I had to pull you. So answering it powerfully and taking action. And that action may be just laying down and taking a nap, right? It might be something like meditate or journal or read a book, or it might be something very minimal, but whatever that is, the wisdom will surface, because when you answer it powerfully, the answers will happen. Similarly, like you lose your keys. If you're in a state of panic, I'm going to be late. Oh my God, people are worried about me. I might, I'm going to be late. I'm going to get in a car accident. We don't think clearly. We check the same places 6, 8, 10 times. Keys are not there. I don't know why I keep checking this space. It's because we're in a low mental state. Mm-hmm. But if we stop, say, how do I want to feel? I want to feel in control. I want to feel like I have the answers of where my keys are. Slowing down, thinking, where's the last time I saw them? You feel empowered. You're operating from a place of a high mental state versus a messy mind. You're operating from clarity, right? We don't have good answers down here.
Agreed.
So what are you hearing when I state all this?
I'm hearing truth. I'm hearing makes sense. And these are things I know, things I'm aware of, things I'm very familiar with, but being allowing myself to get in that low state pulls me away of remembering all that you just said. And so having that reminder to flip the script, or whatever people say, reframe, shift into how I want to feel instead, was a very, very simple but powerful reminder to almost even have that written on my fridge or something, just like, because I usually in times of emergency, chaos, unexpected drama, I react very calmly and very, very quickly. I have no problem doing that. But what I noticed while you were talking is that I do better in chaos and trauma and emergency situations than in peaceful, calm, like chill life. And so I think that, not that I want to stay in chaos, but I think I need to take the tools I use here and apply them over here into this space now that we're in right now.
Would that be an anchor?
To stay in peace and calm, and
the tools that you use that work really well in your chaos and trauma, would that be an anchor to operate in that same fashion in the normal everyday life? Maybe using that question as well, putting it on your fridge, mm-hmm. But would that be an anchor that you're searching for?
I think the anchor I'm searching for is, for a lack of a better word, something to achieve, something that I can be moving forward towards, whether it's short-term or long-term. And my mindset is the reframe of all the tools I know how to use over here, the action, the quick thinking, the high frequency, the, no matter what happens, I'm going to do this to make it happen. Those mindset tools and those tools I need to carry over here, realizing they can still be applied to my life in this great calmness and peacefulness and easy life of ease that we've created, they can both be together. Whereas I was associating them with calming or chaos and trauma. I only work at that frequency when I'm in drama. I can still work with those tools and at that same frequency and still have a calmness to my life rather than chaos and fear.
Yeah. So what is one?
That feels good. That felt good.
Did it? Good. I know. I felt it when you were coming. You were just going.
I'm like, great. I'm like, move this over here, but leave behind the shit. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's fine. What's the action that you can take now?
Find that short-term goal, I guess. And I like to journal. I like to put pen to paper when I have aha moments like this to ingrain those feelings and those messages to me. So honestly, I think I'll be taking some time to write all this out today. Because as I mentioned before we started recording, I had 4 or 5 pages of notes just trying to figure this all out myself. And I got somewhere, but I didn't get this far. So I think continuing this conversation on paper in alignment with that will be my journey of how I resolved it or worked through it with you. And then maybe taking that meditation moment to let go of that last little bit that I feel like I need to have from my spouse to put me in this space, or that I was unknowingly putting on his shoulders to get me here. Because he has no idea, right? It just was all me. But being okay with releasing that last story.
Yeah. Because that's all thinking.
Right, which I have plenty of time to do now because I'm not taking any action.
But you will be moving forward.
I will be. I mean, I made a whole list of things I want to do. I just, as far as it got.
So the action is to journal today, create a short-term goal, let go. Anything else?
I know my heart is racing and I just feel open right now. A little vulnerable.
Let that go.
And yeah, in a positive way, just of the almost a feeling of like the vulnerability of like finally having some closure to something that's resurfaced after so long and started causing all this mess again. So that feels good.
Memories are just thinking. Memories are everything in the past is just a mirage. I'm not saying that it didn't happen, it did, but really what it amounts to is being fully present, being here, asking yourself, how do I want to feel, and taking action, making sure that it's powerful, momentum, taking action. So how or whom can hold you accountable?
Well, there's a few people. I don't think they would all be holding me accountable for the same thing. So I have a really close friend. I have my spouse. I have a network of close women that I work with that I could reach out to that are very involved with mindset work and beliefs and things like that I trust that I could connect with to support me on this for sure.
When will you have your short-term goal created?
I'm going to say I could easily narrow it down today.
Okay. And at the end of today, you'll share it with one of these individuals, probably more than one, your spouse
Yes.
and either a friend or the network.
Yes.
Okay. How do you feel? Do you feel complete at this moment? Do you feel that this was beneficial?
Yes. Yes. No, this feels great. Feels really good. I feel a little more clear, right? It'll get clearer as I get moving. But it feels lighter. I feel almost exhausted. Like, like I said, I've been losing sleep over this. So I almost feel that the weight has been lifted to actually get some rest, which will be really welcome. And yeah, it's just always a good feeling to release some of this energy and bring it in with more light, more positive energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have enjoyed our time together. And if you feel complete, then I will close out this recording.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for offering to do this and
Yeah.
being vulnerable. I've enjoyed it, and to many more. So thank you, Cristin.
You're welcome.